I wanted to show you very quickly how this will work when you do your graphing on Math Excel. So I've actually chosen problem number 6 from an assignment because it's a system of equations that I thought if you could do this, then you could do the rest of it. So on problem number 6, for my problem, I've been given two inequalities. So my first one, I have the y is less than negative 3x minus 3. And so you have some information from that. First of all, it is with a slope of 3 and it has a y-intercept of negative 3. So your slope is 3. You have a y-intercept b of negative 3. And because it's a less than problem, this will be dashed. So that could be work that would go on your work page. And then you'll want to graph this so we can select the line tool. Now, I got to that tool by using this magnifying glass to zoom in. You also have this click to enlarge graph. Personally, I like the enlarging tool, and then you find the different line tools that you have down here at the bottom. So I'm choosing this line. I'm going to start my graph at negative 3 on the y-axis, so that'll plug a point right there. And then my slope is 3, so I have to go up 3 and right 1. And as soon as I move right 1, my line will start to form. Now, as I'm looking at my information, it says that I should be using a dashed line, but this is solid. So I look through here in my tools, and I do have the option to change it to a dashed line. So I can go ahead and do that, even if I forget to do it at the beginning. So now I have a dashed line. Now I can still do a test point. You can do that work on your papers as well. So if you plug in 0, 0, we would do 0 is less than 3 times 0 minus 3. And this time, so 3 times 0 minus 3, that is negative 3. And 0 is not less than negative 3. So this is false. And so if I'm thinking about shading, and I can go ahead and shade this and get rid of it later. Here, my 0, 0 is here where the x and y axis meets, right in here. And my test point was false. So I would want to shade on the other side of this dashed line. So the paint can is what you use for shading. And I'm going to shade this region. So notice that I'm on the opposite side of where the 0, 0 is because the 0, 0 was false. And if I only had to do the one line, I would hit check answer and that would be it. But this is a system. So I've got one more line to look at. So I'll look at the y is equal to x plus 2. And for that one, my m is 1 and b is 2. This one is less than or equal to, so it's a solid line as I get ready to work with it. And so this graph, I have to select a new line. So make sure that you select that tool, the line tool. Make sure it's chosen. So I'm at 0, 2, and then I will go up 1 and right 1. So right here, up 1, right 1, and click that. Now, there, I just accidentally moved my cursor a little bit, and so my line actually isn't where I want it to be. I want to make sure to review this with you. I have two choices in order to correct a mistake. If you just want to remove part of your graph, make sure to choose delete. And you also need to make sure that the part that you want to delete is selected. So my line is selected here. I don't want it, it's not correct. So I want to hit delete. You'll get a warning and then OK. So just that deleted. So I'm going to try again, select this. Start at 2. I want to go up 1 and right 1. I'll select that. It is a solid line, so I want to make sure I have that solid selected. So that line is now correct. And I can do a test point for that region, plugging into my original inequality. I would have 0 is less than or equal to 0 plus 2. So 0 less than or equal to 2 is true. So for my second line, my shading is actually here at the 0, 0. Now, it might be helpful for you to shade that in, but remember that that would be the shading for this entire region right here. And so I'm going to go ahead and shade it and show you what will happen. If I select this region right here and hit the paint can, I can put my shading in here. And now I'm saying that all of this is my solution. But actually, I would only want the part where it's shaded on this side for both of my lines. And that actually is from here on down. So I need to get rid of this shading right here. Notice as I select the paint can, it turns green if I'm selecting it. So I want to select this one. Delete will only get rid of my selected area. And so I'll hit delete. Yes, I want to get rid of that. And this is my shaded region that is shaded for both this solid line where the 0, 0 was false and, or excuse me, where the dash line was false, and then this solid line where the 0, 0 was true. And so we can check the answer, and it is correct. So that will show you hopefully some tools that you'll be using as you do this homework 13.